Why Anton Daniels is going to be always targeted by the black conscious community and the OTEP hierarchy? Well, there's a number of reasons why. One is that he's a Trump supporter, and once you're black, even no matter how much you admire Donald Trump, post 2016, he's the enemy of black people. Even though black people used to revere socializing with Donald Trump. Any affiliation with Donald Trump right now, and you're in trouble. A good example of this was James Mattis. You remember that's his name, yeah. He was a prominent pastor in New York who condemned the Obama administration throughout, and his congregation never deserted him. But ever since he began to support Donald Trump, he had to backtrack because his congregation just totally deserted him then. Now, Anton Daniels is a well-spoken, well organized, as I can see, well-educated type of black man who live in Detroit. And a part of the reason he may be discriminated is that he doesn't appeal to the black pseudo-intellectual masses who always try to justify most of black people's bad behavior and downfall by using racism and the past as a scapegoat. Now, a critique that Dr. Umar would have of him is the fact that Anton Daniels calls himself a capitalist. And Dr. Umar is one who villainizes the capitalist, and I'm sure if he was a capitalist, even though I know he's passionately building a school, it's gonna be hard for him to build a school because he's not thinking for profit. And for profit will bring revenues to the community. So if he was a capitalist, his school would be built a long time ago. Another person who not regularly critique Anton is Tariq Nasheed. That's his right name, and he's the chief promoter of the Foundation and Black American movement, and not really similar to the Native American Black movement. That's Dane Calloway and Company. That's a whole different bunch of what I'd call lunatics. But some of them are my good friends. But they're lunatics to ever disregard history. Not even know even body's history. Even though I don't worship Black history or celebrate Black history, because I do have to admit that there was slavery in the Western world, and I do look like a Nigerian. So I can't denounce that I am a descendant of a Nigerian or any form of West African. But Tariq criticized him for being a terror, like he appeals to white people. Now, more and more, white people are going to ask Anton Daniels for his perspective, whether it be for critique or just plain analysis or, or consensus. So if you're appealing to white people, you're marketable, and that triggers a bit of jealousy in OTEP Nation, because OTEP Nation just is always incoherent in their theories, because their theories are not really. And I will be considered an OTEP at some point because of my traditional love for traditionalism and all that type of stuff. But they're really jealous of a black man who gets accepted as as an intellectual peer of white people because of his cohesion, unlike what they have. I was listening to Anton's show one day, and a person, one of the women on his show, popular Jazzy, I think was her name, started accusing him of always bashing black people, which is irrelevant criticism. You see what I'm saying? Anton don't put most of his efforts into. I'm not deriding nobody, but Anton put more of his research into personal development more than he does bashing, to be honest. But you know, to each his own. But you always get that reactionary critique from a person like Jazzy because she realized that this is the man firm in his beliefs, and his beliefs are coherent. And that is really and truly going to be why the black conscious movement will reject him. But they don't have to accept you for you to be impactful. You know that's the phenomenon of Donald Trump. Not even his supporters really like him, but they have to admire what he does.